So today I am joined by Brian Garusa, who is a literary activist and author. We are reviewing the book Bring Us Back by Mercy Dliwayo. What is a literary activist, Brian?
Someone whose mandate goal is to promote literature, to promote books. So basically,
You're in the right space at the right time because we want to promote books.
probably.
I love it. Tell me about the book that you are holding right now. What is the title of that book? I did mention it. And what is it about?
So books usually are not about a single thing. This is an anthology of short stories.
Right.
With one of the main components of the stories, the connecting link, being about home and belonging.
Okay.
What is home? What does home do to people? And what happens to people when home is not that conducive? Sometimes they think of escaping. And the book questions this whole process of living home. And it delves much into the psychology, to the thoughts of the characters who are about to live, what they think, the mental struggles. So it's also a book about mental health. It's also a book about, there are a lot of stories, the book being written by a woman. There are also stories about womanhood, what it means, menstrual health, what it means to be a girl who is living alone when the mother or the parents are outside of the country. So it's a book, it's an interesting book that welcomes us to question a lot of things about who we are as a people.
Right. So it's written by Mercy Dliwayo. Do you have any insight you can share with us on who Mercy is?
Okay, Mercy Dliwayo is a poet, is an author, and she holds an MA in creative writing from University of Rhodes. And I think currently she is based in South Africa. Actually, this book won the NAMA Award for first creative work.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's absolutely amazing. So,
last year.
You know, now it's interesting that you mentioned that you think she lives in South Africa, because this book becomes even more defined by the fact that, look, she is diving into a topic that she herself is very well versed in, having moved from home to a different country for whatever reasons best known to her. Now, when we look at, some of the aspects, let's look at just that aspect of having to migrate, for example. What are some of the stories, or just the highlights from the stories that she tells around the issues that come with moving from the home, the place you've grown up in, the place you've identified with, to a new place and having to resettle and re-experience life there?
So what makes the book actually interesting, one of the stories starts at home. I think one of the opening stories where people are trying to make a living, and in their endeavors or in their struggle to survive, they are meeting with some of the things we always meet in the streets, running battles with the municipal police, and it's called smashing potatoes. In the process, there is a child who is run over by a municipal police truck. Then she takes you as well in other stories on the actual journeys of crossing the Limpopo River. And you feel the pain of the men and women and children who are partaking in that journey. And it's also interesting that in some of the stories, she doesn't write about us we have left home, but she writes about people in the very space she is, who are actually thinking of leaving, because they are also facing almost similar problems. There is a lot of violence that is happening, both at home and abroad, where you are. So there are questions of, if we leave, are we not also succumbing to this hand that is pushing us? There is also, if we leave, what is going to happen to us? Shall we leave as well? Then after leaving, you also have people who have gone there who are not able to send even money to buy pads for their little ones who are at home.
Right.
So you get these conversations between a mother who actually came home this December to meet her children who are staying alone. This is a 15-year-old girl and her younger brother. And the daughter is asking, if you can come smelling so nice, what makes sense if you, how does I make sense of you failing to take us where you are? And a whole can of worms is opened because the mother now burst out of anger, thinking about the process, the difficulties that she is facing in South Africa. Things are not so well even abroad. So you find out the book also speaks about the internal traumas that we keep in ourselves, and the possible outbursts that we vent on each other. So sometimes the violence is not.
It's not even external, it's within.
Yeah.
It's within. I like the sound of this book, but let's continue talking about it a bit later on. The book, of course, is titled Bring Us Back by Mercy Dliwayo, if you want to grab a copy about it. And let us know your thoughts on our Facebook page or Twitter or Instagram. Let us know what you think about the book. Read it. We are promoting reading, guys. Read the book.